things were going very, very well career-wise, and I was able to live a double life. I wasn't clinically insane when I was planning these robberies. Clearly, I was out of my mind, you know. And I'm not a robber. I'm not a bank robber.
Living a double life, that's what Andrew McKenna, a highly regarded attorney and federal prosecutor, was doing when he robbed 6 banks and 2 stores. So what led to the drastic change in his behavior? Joining us now, the man himself, Andrew McKenna from Newsmax, New York. He is the author of the new book, Sheer Madness, From Federal Prosecutor to Federal Prison. Andrew, we thank you for your time. Welcome to Newsmax Prime.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So what was it? You write in the book Heroine, and how did you get addicted to heroin?
Well, it started with a back injury in the Marine Corps, and it largely went untreated. When I left the Marine Corps and joined the Justice Department, I went to a local doctor in Virginia, and he prescribed me Loratab and Percocet. Naturally, I have an addictive personality, so these painkillers probably felt a little bit better to me. Fast forward, I left the Justice Department, and my wife and I at the time moved back to New York. I had 2 young sons. Difficult in New York to find a doctor to prescribe pain medicine the way they would in Virginia. And ultimately, I went into a serious fit of depression. I was in a compulsion stage of addiction. Went through a very bad custody battle, divorce, where I couldn't get any traction. I wasn't allowed to see my kids. And ultimately, when the pain medicine ran out and the doctors wouldn't prescribe it anymore, I turned to heroin.
So you had that journey that you described right there. What was the lowest point in your life that actually led you to recovery?
The lowest point was the final robbery in the day that I was arrested. I was heading into, I was on a highway heading into Albany following the robbery, and I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to end it. Something grabbed me. I don't know what you'd refer to it as, if it was a spiritual experience, but instead of ramming my car into a median and essentially killing myself, I decided to allow the police to pull me over, keep my hands where they could see them, and face a trial, prison, what have you. I knew something deep down that I would be able to get through it. And a good friend of mine, Brian Barrett, he's an attorney in Lake Placid, he read some of my stories before it became a book, and he said, stop dragging your feet, get it done, work hard on it every day, that sort of thing.
So is the book the happy ending? What is the happy ending for you? 15 seconds.
Sure, the happiest ending for me right now is traveling the country, talking to different groups, schools, colleges, professional organizations, and explaining to people as difficult a time that you might be having in your life, there's a way out of it. There's a way through it. It's a story of hope, love, resilience.
And it is a story you can read about in the book from Andrew McKenna, Sheer Madness, From Federal Prosecutor to Federal Prison. And now out and an author. Thanks very much for your time. Time to hear what's on your mind via social media. Our first comment comes from Pat, who heard the conversation on this program last night about our so-called friends in the Middle East. He writes, according to Rick Unger, we still have lots of friends in the Mideast. With that in mind, we should get the heck out of the Middle East and let our friends take care of this situation. You can train and train these folks, but if you cannot get them to fight for the cause, it's Vietnamization all over again. Well trained, no heart. Next, we hear from Gary, who heard our interview with Republican presidential candidate Mark Everson on last night's program. He writes in, Mr. Everson could excel if he would come out for doing away with the IRS. Doesn't sound like he's willing to go there. Thanks for your comments, and thanks to Mark Everson for taking the time to join us on Newsmax Prime last night. A quick programming note, we're scheduled to have another 2016 Republican presidential hopeful on this program tomorrow night, so you be here for that. Until then, stay brave, stay free, stay tuned.